Hi, welcome back to another One Chart lesson. I'm Matt Toms. One of the things I enjoy about doing all these lessons online is that I get to bring my choice of songs to you, as well as trying to do, everything for everyone really, but I get to pick out kind of weirdo left of field songs that you may not have necessarily heard of. Today's lesson is a song by the Hoodoo Gurus called Hayride to Hell. Now, if you're Australian, you probably have heard this song before, and you probably love the Hoodoo Gurus, but I don't know how popular this song was anywhere else in the world. But it's a really fun song to play, and it teaches you a really good and fast technique for a hammer-on, which you just heard in that intro, which is kind of the main riff of the song. Now, I'm going to take you through the entire song with the chords and everything we need, which are on your One Chart, which is downloadable on the link below. So download that and put that in front of you and get ready. I'm also going to go through the guitar solo, which is a really interesting and tasty little guitar solo on this song as well. So if you want to stick around towards the end of the lesson, I'm going to go through the song, but then at the end of the lesson I'm going to start taking you through the guitar solo as well, showing you how to play it on both electric and acoustic guitars. So to take you quickly through the chords for this song, we need E minor, D, A minor 7, C, and we're going to do something to the C chord later on as we go, and I'll show you when we get to it, and a G. And that's pretty much it for the whole song, I think. Keep in mind that I'm going to play this with my fingers because I have a long fingernail on this finger. It sounds like a pick and it plays like a pick. This song is probably easiest with either a long fingernail or a pick because you need to get that hammer on and kind of clean picking sound that you can really only get from a pick or a long fingernail. You can finger pick it like finger style with the pads of your fingers, but it just doesn't quite sound the same. So grab a pick or your fingernail, let's get going. The E minor, which is the key of this song, is where this riff resides. Now, if you start your E minor and you play the open A string and then hammer it onto the second fret of the A string, immediately followed by the open D string. That's the riff. Okay? So you do it twice, and then come back to the A string second fret. And it sounds like this. The strumming, which surrounds that little riff on the E minor chord. Now I've got it charted out on your tab there, so check that out. You start with the open E string, then play the rest of the chord. Doesn't matter whether you play all 6 strings on that second strum or just the 5 remaining, or it's whatever you feel comfortable doing. But we're going open string, strum, then up, down again with the strum. So then you do the riff. Play the strum again. Take your time and get that sounding really nice because the actual speed of the song is up there. It kind of goes. Now with that hammer on, it just takes a little while. It's more about timing than it is about strength and how hard you hammer that note on. Get the timing right, play it clean, and you'll be able to speed it up easily after that. We play that riff 4 times. So you go strum, riff, strum, riff, repeat, strum, riff, strum, riff. Then the verse starts and we go to D. Charlie was a driver and he never spent a night at home. So they do a kind of a sort of a funky, short, choppy strum there, but you can actually get away with doing so breaking it down, it's just kind of, you play the root note of the D chord followed by the strum, kind of like the E minor at the start. Up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, root, down, up, down, up, root, down, up, down, up. So again, just like before, practice that to get it up to speed until you can play it comfortably, and then we're changing through the chords. So it's a bar of D, Charlie was a driver, then a half bar of D, never spent a half bar of A minor 7, then E minor. When you come back to the E minor that first time, you'll see on your chart it's got an asterisk next to that E minor. Whenever you see the asterisk there, you play the E minor and do the riff. And one of those riffs takes up 1 bar. So you go strum, strum, riff. That's 1 bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So end of that, we hit the repeat sign, we go back to the start of the verse. A minor 7, E minor, riff. Then we go to the chorus. Charlie would drive, and Charlie would drive for miles and miles. Now, when we get to this bar on your chart, you'll see I've kind of broken apart that C chord. You can play a C chord just like that if you're not interested in doing this riff. But the way this riff goes is we just walk the bass line down through the chords. Now the way I've broken it down in that first bar on your chart happens on all the other bars where it's broken down in a simpler form as well. So to keep things kind of clean on the chart, I've broken it fully down this first time. So we go root note, rest of the C chord, walk our root note down to B, which is the 2nd fret A string, root note, strum, and you'll see I've lifted my 2nd finger off the D string to put it over onto the A string 2nd fret, because that's probably the easiest way to kind of walk down through this C, C/B, A minor 7, G, and when you get to the G, you can lift your other fingers off, so your open strings in the middle here are the notes out of a G chord. So it's C, B, A, G, E minor. Twice on the E minor riff. Moving on now, we do the next verse. Same way, riff on the E. Every time you see that E minor with an asterisk, it's got the riff after it. Moving down again to the next chorus after that verse 2. Same again. This time we're going to do the C to E minor twice. You'll see the little repeat sign there. So we go C, down to E minor with the riff, repeat. And 3 more bars of this. On to verse 3. Now verse 3 has a slight change in it, and there's a couple of little tasty guitar bits that you'll hear. I'll explain those when I do the main guitar solo at the end of the video. So we go to verse 3 and it's D, A minor 7, E minor, but we only go to the E minor for 1 bar here. All the other verses have done 2 bars of E minor there, but we do just 1 bar of E minor there and go straight back to the D again. 2 bars of E minor, chorus. C to E minor twice. Again. Solo. Now if you just want to play the chords to the solo, just D without the A minor 7, but with the riff. Repeat it again. Then the chorus chords. It all kind of breaks down into free time. It slows right down. You just strum these chords simply. Now, Billy Jackson has been seen around these parts for quite a while. Then it comes back in a regular tempo. And Jollywood Drive, and Jollywood Drive. Miles and miles. Now we enter the last bit where you that little E minor riff 4 extra times after you do the C to E minor 4 times, then it goes E minor with the riff 4 times, and then finishing on a D on the 4 and beat of the second last bar, and finish on the E minor. I hope that's clear. So that's Hayride to Hell. It's a really good song. As I said, take it easy at first, get it all sitting right at a slow speed, and then you can build it up. And the faster you play it, the more fun it is, basically. Now, if you want to do the guitar solo in this song, here it is. I've got 2 charts, one without the guitar solo, one with the guitar solo. Now, there's a few bends in this, so if you are on a classical guitar, you might not want to do these bends, but you can do slides instead, and I'll point them out as we go. In the first, in the second verse, there's a little tasty guitar line that I mentioned before that goes like this. Okay, there's a half beat rest, and then it comes in on the one and. So take that 14, bend it downwards because it's easier. Put it up there so you can actually see it. Take that 14. If you use your 3rd finger, that's generally kind of the strongest finger, but you can put your other 2 fingers behind that finger on the same string, and you get the strength out of those fingers to control that bend. So take the 14, bend it up to about 15, and bring it back down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come back down to the 12th fret. Okay? Then the next little riff, move your 3rd finger. If you land on your 14th fret with your 3rd finger, come down to the 13th fret and go 13, 14 with your pinky, which leaves your 1st finger over the 11th fret on the G string to play that. 12th fret, pinky goes on 14th fret G string. 2nd finger goes on 12th fret B string. 1st finger goes on 11th fret E string. Finish on the 12th fret E string with your 2nd finger. So like this. And the beauty of that is that you've got 4 fingers there covering 4 individual frets. So you don't have to move your hand laterally up and down the neck. You just need to get it in the right position to start with. And that's the way you should approach most of those riffs that you find. Get your fingers in a position where you have to move your hand up and down the neck as little as possible, and it will make that riff easier. You've just got to learn to use your pinky and things become easier. Now, we move on to the solo. Okay, and now to break down the actual guitar solo here, we're going to just take it bar by bar. The first bar, we're going to start with our first finger across the 7th fret, fretting the D, G and B strings, which is kind of the top of a D bar chord. You can also start this solo down here using the same 3 notes on the G, B and E strings, but it's more effective and efficient if we're up on the 7th fret for the things that follow. So we're going to start up here and we're going to play 7 on the D, and again picking or using a pick or your fingers, you know, it's up to you. 7 on the D string, 7 on the B string, followed by 7 on the G, then 7 on the D. So that. Then we move up to the 8 on the B string and do the same little rhythmic thing. Up to the 10, back to the 8 on the B, back to the 7 on the B, then you grab the 7 on the G string and either slide or hammer or just pick up to the 9. Doesn't really matter which way you do it there, I tend to slide that. Then we reach over to the D string 7th fret and go hammer from 7 to 9 and move to the 7 on the G string in much the same way as the signature riff from this song does. So we do 7 9 7 7 9 7 7 9 7 9, then 3 little notes on the 9 of the G string. Then we move over to the B string and go 7 8 7, 9 on the G, back to 7 on the B. So up to 8 on the B, slide or pick up to the 10 on the B string. Now here's where our first real bend comes in. It's a slow bend, so if you're on a guitar that can't really bend well, or if you can't bend really well, slide your note up to 12 on the B string. So go from 10 to 12. Otherwise, if you're bending, you bend that note on the 10th fret up to that B note, which is the 12th fret on the B string. So you bend it slowly, hold it, play the 10th fret on the E string, come back to the 10th fret bent on the B string, bring it back down, go to 8, 10, back to 8, then we slide up to 12 from the 10th fret, we slide up to 12, and this is a funky little riff. It goes, so you go sliding up to 12, staccato, very short note on the 10th fret E string, a really short rest, then the 9th fret E string, again staccato short, then 8th fret E string, staccato again, 8th fret B string, and 9th fret G string. So it sounds like this. Straight after that, you slide up to 9 on the G string, back to 7. Do the same on the D string, slide up to 9, back to 7. 5 on the D string, 7 on the A string, and then open E string, 2nd fret E string, and then we start, the next bar starts with this on the 3rd fret E string, which is a G note. So the best way to play that is down, down, up, A string open, down, down, up, 2, 2nd fret A string, same thing, 3rd fret A string, 2nd fret D string, then we reach up to 5. You can play this as an open G string, but I think it's better for you to play it on the 5th fret D string. So you go 5, 4, 2, 4, 5, 4, 2. So it's right, so that whole run from the G note, then we slide a D-shaped chord up to the 7th fret. So your first note is the G string 7th fret, so you slide up to that, but you've got the other fingers here on a D-shaped chord. So you slide up to the G string 7th fret, and you've got your finger on the 7th fret of the E string as well. They're your first two notes. Then you put these two fingers on the 8th fret of the B and the E strings and play those 3 strings descending. So you're going 8 on E, 8 on B, 7 on G. So it sounds like this. Then you go back to the 8 on the E string. 3 notes there, down to the 7, to the 8 on the B string. So then take your third finger, slide it up to the 9. With the other two fingers, grab 8 on the B string, 7 on the E string. So you're going, and again make them staccato short notes. Do 3 of those, drop them down a fret, add your third finger to the 8th fret G string, pluck all 3 notes and slide them back up. So they're on 9, 8 and 7 again. So it's... And the last thing we do is we leap up to the 15th fret, and again now we're doing another bend. So if you're on a classical or acoustic where you can't bend, slide that 15 up to 17. Now it's going to be a high reach on your neck, but see if you can do it. If you're bending, you bend that 15. You play the 15 on the E string. You bring that 15 on the B down again to the 12 on the B string. Then you reach over to 14 on the G string and you bend that. If you can't bend that, you slide that to 16 and you play the 15 on the B string. Bring that bend down or slide back down from 16 to 14 on the G. Then go down to 12, then back up to 14, back down to 12, finish on 14 on the D string. So it's... Play that once more, then play it on the open string, which is the same note. Then it gets you down into this open position, because the last thing you're going to do is play that open E string, followed by 3 on the E string, a quick hammer from 2 to 3 on the E string, back to the open string, and it lands on the D chord. So it's kind of like this. And that's where it breaks down into the free time. That's the end of the solo. Okay, so finally, here is the whole solo all the way through for you to practice with. It's going to be obviously a bit off the regular pace until we get it down nice and smoothly. Then you can speed it up. Like with anything, what you want to do is get all the notes and the phrasing and everything right at a slower pace first, and then speeding it up is much, much easier. If you try and practice playing things too quickly, too soon, you're probably going to practice some mistakes. You're not going to play it as cleanly as you should. Start slow, get it right, then it will actually be way, way easier to speed up after that. Alright, so here we go. The whole solo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hope you followed that, and managed to do it all right. Let me know if you've got any issues or any problems or any questions at all. Please shoot me a message and I'll try and help you out if I can. That's the solo. Like the rest of the song, it moves really quickly, so it's not going to come immediately. It'll take a little bit of work, but once you can play this song all the way through, you'll feel like you've really accomplished something, and you will have. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please come back for more lessons. We like to see you here as often as possible, and we're uploading songs, new songs and lessons every week, so we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.